Hi, everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. His name is Jimmy the Bag. My name is Peter Loshak. This is the Loshak the Bag Show, 6 o'clock edition, Tuesday, December 5th. A big college basketball slate of games on the card tonight, and we've got some interesting line moves in the both the NHL and the NBA. Jimmy and I are both looking to have bounce back days. Jimmy and I both had weirdly negative days yesterday, but positive in NHL, so it's kind of the opposite of how things were going. I'm feeling pretty good about the lines that I'm seeing in NHL, NBA, and in college basketball right now. Jim, how you feeling right now as we speak right this second?
I feel like we have a very promising evening ahead of us.
Absolutely. Let's get that fucking money. Let's get that fucking money, Jim.
That's what I like to hear.
Yes, college basketball, some interesting stuff. Actually, I was able to handicap mostly about half the 8 o'clock games up through that. The 7 o'clock games, I didn't see much, but then late, a bunch of the 8 o'clock games, I think I'm seeing some good value, and we'll discuss it. We'll discuss it all right here at SportsBook Review. Jimmy the Bag and the Loshak Show. How you feeling, Jimmy the Bag?
Good, man. Good. I didn't see, maybe because I got bitten last night by NCAA,
Oof.
but I didn't see as many angles that I jumped on. And then there were angles I thought I saw that the more I researched kind of went away.
Well, I felt the same way. When I was looking at the 7 o'clock games, there were a few things that I was kind of liking, but nothing that I was like, oh, here I really like. Then with the 8 o'clock games, there were a few things that I was that I think I'm liking quite a bit more. Again, we will get into that one. Shout out to all the viewers. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into it. We got a lot of crap to cover, so we're gonna do two different college basketball segments. One at the beginning of the 6 o'clock show, one at the end of the 6 o'clock shows, so we can think about these things, watch the lines mature. Jimmy the Bag, let's start with you. What has caught your eye from what you've been able to glean from possible betting value, as far as possible betting value is concerned, college basketball?
Well, I've decided to jump for the 7 o'clock games. I talked myself off of Gonzaga. I'm concerned about the flight to New York. I feel like this is a real road game for them, and I talked myself off of it, even though I really believe that their level of competition has been so much more difficult than Villanova's, and in a different circumstance, I would make this bet, especially if this was being played anywhere out west. I would make this bet.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking Gonzaga's got to be the play here, but it was 5, then it went down to 4.5. Now it's back up to 5. And that's kind of a telling line move there. I still have to think that Gonzaga is probably the way to go here, but again, this is one that I decided Gonzaga was a borderline play for me. I decided to hold off. I didn't bet it, and I decided to make it a second half game, Jim.
Interesting. So for the 7 o'clock game, that was when I was really looking at that I've stayed away from. I have made an official pick and tweeted it out. Not official for the show, but I did put it out with my local, but I'm making it official for the show right now. I am going to take the under in Virginia versus West Virginia.
Indeed.
Full game under.
Yes, indeed. I did the same thing, Jim. I bet that one. Did you get 135?
No.
Yeah, I got 135.
That's
Jim.
a great spot to be in.
Did you get 134?
No, because I have my local uses Bet365.
Yeah, well, for the purposes of this show, BetDSI is still hanging 134.5. So if you want to make that one an official pick, we can credit you with that one.
Beautiful.
And I did bet that one. And so I guess there's absolutely no reason for me to not throw that one on as an official pick either. It's just that these games can go over late. It's if it loses, I would not be super shocked. But I think it's a good play. What number did you get? 133?
I got 130. I need to double check that, but I believe. Let me just check that right now. I can tell by what the. Yeah, I would love. I'm very comfortable with 134.5, but you got a really nice spot with 135.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we can credit ourselves 134.5 because that might be a stale line possibly because everywhere else has 132.5, 133. 133.5 is definitely a line. That's at the Greek right now. We might have to credit ourselves as 133.5 if we're. I don't know.
I do not see a 134 anywhere on the board.
Yeah. I'm just SBR odds is showing 134.5 at DSI, but that might be a not so great feed. All right, so let's all right. You want to take 133.5, Jim?
I do.
All right, West Virginia under 133.5 minus 110, and I guess I will take that one as well. West Virginia under 133.5 minus 110. In games like these, this is really where those half points might matter. I mean, I could easily see this one landing on 134, but I did bet that one. It was the first pick that I made that I thought was like a solid play. I bet it, and I guess I'll have to go. I'll go on it with you at 133.5. Yeah.
Nasty Nate's asking about the Virginia money line. Now, I like Virginia here. But I ended up thinking, well, this will just be a great game to study these two teams and watch how they react to each other's defenses. But I think Virginia is a slightly better team than West Virginia. And after a lot of close study, I decided just to take the under.
Yeah, and this is another one very similar to the Gonzaga game. I would definitely have a lean to Virginia here, but I decided, as far as the spread is concerned, to turn it into a second half game for me. I'm going to look at if there's something good on the second half, I'll bet it. If not, I will pass. Maybe someday we'll start a thing where we start tweeting out our second half plays to our loyal viewers, because my second half plays are pretty good in college basketball. It's something I've been doing for a long time.
It's your holistic approach.
Yes, exactly, absolutely. Actually, I'm going to check BetDSI right now, the actual website, and if 134.5 is actually available, and that's not,
I can't get it on DSI. I got DSI here, right here. It says 133.5.
Yeah. All right. So that was just wait. No. Where are you seeing that?
Just on the betting odds here. BetDSI, SBR, Sportsbook Review
Right,
odds.
but I'm looking at BetDSI right now, Jim. Look at this. 134.5, West Virginia, Virginia.
That's great, because right here it says 133.5 at minus 118. And minus 107.
Okay, well, it said 134.5 a few seconds ago when I looked at it. I'm looking at the website right now. It says 134.5, so we're fucking taking 134.5.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. If we weren't putting our records up there every day for everyone to see, we would eat 133.5. We're putting our records up there. We're taking the best fucking line that exists. 134.5 minus 110. That's the fucking line we're taking.
I like it.
Yeah. If someone doesn't like it, turn the fucking show off. All right, let's get into it. What else do you like here, Jim?
Well, for the 7 o'clock games, that's where I'm going to stay. Now, moving forward into the night, I've decided to make a move with Nevada. They're at Texas Tech. Nevada's 8-0, already has 4 wins under their belt. They're winning by an average of 18 points a game. 6'7" junior guard Jordan Caroline is averaging 18.4 points, 9.1 rebounds, 2.4 assists, and he is a matchup nightmare. You put him right beside 6'7" Caleb Martin, provides opposing coaches with the same challenges. He's averaging 19 points and 5.4 rebounds. Now, Nevada has no real traditional bigs, kind of bigs that I really like, but the Red Raiders really can't exploit that. They have 6'11", 250-pound senior Tommy Hamilton. He only plays 14.9 minutes a game. 6'9", 245-pounder Norenzi Odiasi only plays 14.6 minutes a game. But the Red Raiders are a very deep squad. They have 10 players averaging at least 13.4 minutes. Their only loss, they played last week. They lost 89-79 to a very tough Seton Hall squad. Seton Hall was trailing by 3 at the half, shot 55% from the field, 60% from 3 in the second half. That shows how good of a team Texas Tech is, but I really think Jordan Caroline and Caleb Martin will be too much for the Red Raiders. I like getting plus 5.5. Happy getting plus 5.5, and I'm going to take it and make it official.
All right, yeah, that's a tough one. All right, so you're taking a Texas Tech here, right?
No, Nevada.
Oh, sorry, Nevada. That's what I meant, Nevada. Plus, wait. We're giving you 6, Jim.
Beautiful.
We're giving you 6, Jim. That is at BetDSI and at the Greek. We don't have to check that one. Beautiful. And it's not surprising because it is headed up. There's money coming in on Texas Tech. It's now Pinnacle has Texas Tech minus 5.5, minus 114. It's already up to 6 at BetDSI and the Greek. So we'll give you Nevada plus 6 minus 110. That is a really tricky one. Obviously, Nevada is a great team this year, and obviously they've been awesome ATS. But Texas Tech, not every game have they been awesome ATS, but they've had some strong results ATS wise, and so I'm just staying off that game. This is another one I have it circled as a second half play right there. We are getting some great comments. I'm going to just quickly cite some of these. People are starting to call it. Did you notice that? I think they're starting to call themselves Loshaggers. Loshakers for the Loshak the Bag Show fans. That is awesome. Unless that's a typo or something. That is friggin' awesome. Bookie Crusher says, "What's up, guys? Colorado loves Loshak the Bag. Let's eat." Thank you so much, Bookie Crusher. I'm sorry, I just live for this shit, so I just want to read a couple of these comments, and we'll get into more college basketball. Picks here. Here you go. Skate Forever 12341 says, "Chat's getting fired up. Lots of Loshaggers. Let's friggin' go." Did Skate Forever 12341 make that term up?
He may have.
If he did, that's like the most flattering thing that's ever happened to me, I think, except for one time with my girlfriend a couple of years ago. But all right, 10 years ago, yeah. But wow, look at that, Loshak, Justin Biggie, wow. Yeah, Justin Biggie's from Australia. Justin Biggie, if you can hook me up with an Australian wife and Australian citizenship, obviously you will have my second half and college basketball plays forever for free. Yeah, all right. So let's get to some other stuff. Billy Jolly says I'm on Gonzaga +5. I can certainly understand why someone would be there. Should I give a couple picks that I kind of like, Jim?
I think so. Yeah.
All right. I think I'm liking Memphis on the first half against Samford, and I think I'm liking Arkansas either on the first half or the full game against Colorado State. Arkansas, of course, can steamroll teams when they want to, and Colorado State is steamrollable. They looks like they're having some issues. Memphis also is a team. I got burned taking a Memphis team total over in UAB, and that was a loser. But Stanford is very poor right now, and Memphis coming off an OT win. Now Memphis at times has started off their games slow in the first half. They've had a bunch of first halves where they were way down and then came back in the second half. But in this spot, I think that Memphis is probably going to come out pretty solid and pretty strong. And now here's the thing. When I handicapped the Arkansas game, the line was 16.5, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm definitely going to take the first half." And then I went to check what it was, and it was 10. Wow. Now I bet it anyway, but that shows you that the market is agreeing with that. And again, these are picks. If they lose, I'm okay with it. I bet them, and I think there's a solid reason for liking them. I'm going to start definitely Memphis first half. -5, -110. That is at a bunch of places. Let's see. Yeah, BetDSI has that one, and 5 Dimes has it, but we don't use 5 Dimes. But we do use BetDSI. -5, -110. Memphis on the first half, and then Arkansas. It's actually 9.5 or 10. Yeah, I definitely like them on the first half. I think I like them on the full game as well. I think I like the first half over on that one. I will take Arkansas on the first half. -9.5, and the best line would be -115 at many places. Yeah, Heritage has 10, other Pinnacle has 9.5, -119, but I'll take Arkansas first half, -9.5, -115. I'm also thinking about throwing on the first half over on that one, which I probably will. And those are just 2 picks that I definitely bet, that I definitely feel comfortable about. What else do you like here, Jim?
I like your call on Memphis.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yes.
But here, Searcy, our man Justin Searcy says, I live in Memphis. They start slow,
yes,
and they have to get coached up at the half.
Yes.
But I think you're getting it in a nice spot. 5 points against Samford. I mean,
yes, Justin Searcy, you're absolutely right. They do start slow, and they have to get coached up in the half. And the reason I'm taking this one is because I'm betting, or I'm making an educated guess that for this game at least, for this game only, will turn around. I mean, I think that Samford is weak enough that Memphis will be able to come out and at some point in the first half extend out a big lead. Could be wrong, and it could lose, and if it does, I'll eat the unit. But I bet it, and that's it. Yes, Justin Searcy, you're right. They do start slow, at least up till now, which is not a good sign. But those things do change,
I'm going to jump on Texas A&M in their matchup with Arizona. Aggies are 7-0 and have won each game by at least 7 points. The team is very good, and very big. And that is everything I love in a college basketball team. They're led by 6'9" junior forward DJ Hogg, averages 16.9 points, 7.7 rebounds, and they have 2 legitimate big men. 6'10", 266-pounder Tyler Davis, who averaged 13.6 points and 8 boards, and 6'10", 241-pound possible lottery pick Robert Williams, averaging 8.8 points and 10 boards. Now, the Wildcats have an elite-level guard in Alonzo Trier, 23.9 points for him, and they have the 7'1", 250-pound freshman DeAndre Ayton at 20.4 points and 11.4 boards. But I just think Texas A&M is a better basketball team than them, and I'm going to take them. And I believe the line is around -1.
Yeah, well, it's headed down a little bit. It's down to a -1. Again, BetDSI is showing Pick'em at -110, which I'm not sure if that's a stale line or not. But bookmakers showing Pick'em -126. I guess just to be safe, will you take -1, -109?
Yep.
All right, Texas A&M -1, -109. That is the current line at. That is the current line at Pinnacle. Let me just see if these DSI lines are are stale or not. I'm not.
Jesse
exactly
Green just wrote, I'm at work, just told my boss to shove it. Loshak and the Bag are on, so shut the fuck up.
Wow. Well, let me read that comment. All right. SBR higher-ups, media executives all over the world. Where is that? Where the hell is that comment? Where the hell is that? Oh, I think it was retracted.
No, it's Jesse Green right there.
Here, Jesse Green.
7 from the bottom.
All right. I'll read these through. I'm going to save this page one more time just to make sure that I can get that and maybe make a frame of it and put it on my wall. And let's look. We got so many college basketball games. Let's get to more of them. What else are you thinking about, Jimmy the Bag? Obviously, people were talking about Minnesota as low-hanging fruit. Someone suggested that in the morning show. It's now gotten bet way up from an opener of 6.5 up to 9 or 9.5. This game I did not have time to look into deeply. I don't know if you did, Jim.
I did look into it deeply, and my man Maxwell Smart, who is a great capper and doing exceptionally well at college basketball right now, he got Minnesota last night at minus 5.5.
Holy shit!
What a score! Now it's minus 9.5. After losing in Michigan State by 29, the Cornhuskers get another very tough test in the Golden Gophers. Jordan Murphy is incredible. We will likely see him in the NBA. He averages 21 points, 12.9 boards. He's everywhere, all over the court. They also have the nation's leading shot blocker and 6'10 senior Reggie Lynch, who averages 11.9 points, 8.6 boards, 4.8 blocks. The Cornhuskers are in tough. James Palmer Jr. has length and can score. He's averaging 14.3 points, 3.8 boards, 2.7 assists. Glenn Watson can score as well. Isaac Copeland is a 6'9", 221-pound junior forward that can bang. He averages 6.3 rebounds a game. They also have a 6'11", 268-pound Canadian center, Jordy Shamanga, who averages 5.4 rebounds. But I just think they're in over their head. I think that, the line move was just too big. I think I missed the chance, and I'm going to probably let this one go. I'm curious to see what you guys think about it. Here, Maxwell Smart says, I approve of that pick, Jimmy. I approve of where you got it, Max, but I just don't know if I could take it at 9.5 or even the first half, which would probably be 5.5.
Yeah, I mean, if you think that those half points or 1 points matter, those 4 points can make a massive difference in college basketball. And definitely, if you can get those lines that are obvious, like sometimes in hockey we talk about that, where there's like a big favorite that we know we're going to want, and it's going to get bet up. So even if you want to take it back, we're going to be getting the best line at that point. Great job, whoever that guy was, beating the line move on that one. I haven't had time to look into that one deeply, so I have no opinion on that one as of right now. But clearly, the line move is pretty telling.
A lot of talk on our chat right now about the SMU Horned Frogs game, the big battle there. I guess schools are 30 miles apart. It's a tough spot. I was trying to find an angle, trying to figure out an angle. TCU has lost 5 straight to SMU. It's time for TCU to make a statement. They're coming off a 26-point win over Yale. 6 guys were in double figures without their leading scorer, 6'11 Slovakian Vladimir Brodzianski. He had an off night. SMU has faced tougher teams in the Horned Frogs, and it's coming off a 17 win over USC. Shake Milton does everything, man. He is an extremely talented kid. 18.7 points, 4.6 boards, and 4 assists. He combines with Jerry Foster to deliver a ton of buckets. The Mustangs don't have any traditional bigs, and they rebound by committee, but the Horned Frogs can't take advantage of it. I really couldn't find an edge here.
Yeah, that game is one I did look at a little bit, and that one, as of right now, I might look at it a little bit more, but as of right now, that one has second half written all over it to me. I love it when 2 teams like that go up against each other. If there's an outlier result in the first half, I can take advantage of that in the second half. All right, I don't even know where to. So many games that are very interesting here. Obviously, the Wichita State, South Dakota State game. I did look into that one deeply. I'm going to totally pass on that one. Maybe think about a second half total play on that one, but as of right now, that's a pass for me. It's an interesting matchup, though, for sure.
Very interesting matchup, and I almost took a flyer on South Dakota State just because they're coming off a really bad game. Yeah. They lost to Missouri State by 20. Mike Dahlm was held to 7 points. They were out-hustled, outplayed in every facet of the game. So I expect them to come out and play better. But who can bet against this Wichita State team right now? And after breaking it down, I couldn't. Dahlm scored 20 against the Shockers last year. After the Shockers lost to Notre Dame by a point, they took it out on Savannah State, beat them by 46. Then they won at Baylor 69-62. That was a big, big win. They're a very good team. They can beat you in an assortment of different ways. Can they cover 19?
That's a tough one. Again, I mean, South Dakota State has gotten blown out this year. It has happened. That's a game I looked at and I'm thinking about a second half totals play, if anything. Other than that, I'm going to pass, just going to pass.
Same here. Flex Clip says, my wife just told me to take out the trash, and I told her to take it out yourself. The Loshaggers are on.
Wow. There's been like 5 or 6 comments of the day candidates so far. Wow.
My girlfriend this is Joshua Garay. My girlfriend is giving birth at the moment and in the waiting room watching you guys. Told my mom, cut the cord for me.
This is awesome. You see, this is why I want to give winning picks so bad, because I want to, give you. I feel so bad that people will say such nice things, and then the least we could do. I mean, yeah, you can chuck out a couple jokes here and there, but the least you could do.
We need to give winners.
Yeah, exactly.
Big Man on Campus is joining us, which is wonderful. It'll be a big help. He says Missouri State shut down Mike Dawn. They did, held him to 7 points.
Yes.
Wichita runs the same defense.
Yes. Again, yes, absolutely. That's a very interesting game. It's going to be a path for me. I'm going to keep an eye out for a possible play on the second half total. Now I'm going to give a play that might have me. I'm sure a lot of people are going to disparage this play, but I'm going to stick with it, and I might have to eat a unit of loss, and it is going to be on the first half plus 8.5. Rutgers against Michigan State. What do you think about that? First half plus 8.5 against Rutgers, Michigan State. Obviously Michigan State, the far, far, far superior team here. Rutgers flawed all over the place, but they're kind of tough. I like the way that they're being coached. The coach is getting a lot out of them, and I feel like this might be a game where he'll get enough out of them to keep it close in the first half, and then in the second half they're just completely overwhelmed. And it might be one of those games where it's like Rutgers is down by 2 at the half, and then Michigan State opens up the second half on a 20-4 run. You know what I mean?
Wow, I do know what you mean. I think it's a very ballsy play. I respect it. I think it's exciting. I mean, the Spartans have never lost to Rutgers since Scarlet Knights joined the Big Ten. They've had an average margin of victory of 28.5. But this is a better Rutgers team than in years prior. And they just lost to Minnesota 89-67, so they did just get a taste of a very good basketball team, so I think that also helps. I think there's a couple things in your favor. Michigan State is a very dangerous team, and I've already lost once this year going against them. So but I have respect for your big balls.
It is.
Big boy call, man.
And I did think about it a little bit. And again, as with all bets that you make, you have to think, right? When you make it, it's like, if this one loses, will I be thinking, what the hell was I thinking? Or will you think, I'm okay with it? This one, I know it's a big balls play. They could be down by 20, or they could lose it by 9 or 10 and come very, very close. But I'm going to take it. Rutgers plus 8.5, minus 110. That's the current line at DSI. And I will take that one, Jimmy the Bag. All right, what else?
I like it. There is an interesting comment here, and it's towards you. So I'm curious if you want to run with it. It's from Eric Sniffen. He says, Yo, Loshak, can you see this? I got important news. Finally, I can tell you since you're live.
I don't trust this at all.
I don't trust this either. Well, he's not coming back, so why don't we keep going?
I don't trust that shit at all. The fuck is that?
That is so weird. That is fucked up.
Finally, important news.
But yes, a lot of people like your call. Hako Schofield says, great call, Pete. Spread Borghini says, love Rutgers. Triple Beam says, beyond ballsy, Pete, respect.
Yeah. This guy's making me fucking nervous. I'm gonna say this fucking page right here. The fucking feds are coming after me already. I'm fucking bullshit. Can't believe this shit.
Okay. Why don't we just keep rolling? I was very curious about the UAB Troy game.
All right. Okay, the UAB. Yes, I did. That one, and I did actually bet it, although it could lose, and I don't know. I took the over. Both these teams have can put up decent points. It's not a soup. It's a little bit of a high total. I'd much rather be getting like 139. That would be great. But at 145, I did take a shot with the over, and maybe I'll take a shot with the first half over as well. It's a little bit borderline, so I don't know if I want to give it, but I did bet it. Minimum amount, standard bet, and that's my take on that game. And as far as the side's concerned, second half written all over it.
Yeah, it's an interesting spot. We were talking about Max earlier. He was on Troy, but then we started breaking down this Jordan Varnado injury, and it really hurts them. The 6'6" junior tied for the lead in rebounds at 7.3 and averages 19 points per game. I do think the major advantage here is senior guard Wesley Person. He's averaging 19.5 points per game, hitting 49% from three. UAB does not have a guard that can run with him. Their best guard right now is 6'2" freshman Zach Bryant, averaging 13.8 points per game. The Blazers are led by 6'8" senior Chris Coakley, averaging a double-double, 18.1 points, 10.3 boards, shooting 60% from the field. And he combines with senior William Lee to handle the glass. But they're really the team's only bigs other than a 6'10" freshman, Maktar Guai, who only plays 9 minutes a game. Troy does not have the size either. I can't see a mismatch really on the glass. The only mismatch I see is Wesley Person. If Varnado was playing, I would take Troy, but because he's not playing, I decided to stay off this game.
Okay, sounds good. We got some comments on the Rutgers pick. Jarvis Wilson says, "Bad pick with Rutgers. That's what you call gambling. Why would you go against a team who's more than capable of beating the shit out of someone?" Because I like the way they're coached. I like the spirit of this team. They get offensive rebounds. It's a lot of points for a first half line, and I think that they're a little bit more likely than not to stay within 8.5 points. Again, I wouldn't be at all surprised if they're down by 2 at the half, and then Michigan State opens the second half with a 20-4 run. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah. And if you're going to take a big home dog, you think that they're going to come out hot, right? And that's the play. You take them on the first half. So I see it. It's a ballsy play. I'm very excited to watch it now. Here's
a nice little comment here. I was talking about the Feds. Andrew Guida says, after those losses last night, the Feds should be your last worry last night. Look, you got a comedian, a freaking comedian. Hey, Andrew Guida, take a couple comedy classes, coming in and trying to test out what he's learned in the comedy classes.
We need a rim shot.
Yeah, Andrew Guida's got some comedy chops in here. No, not bad. Look, that was a decent shot. That was a decent joke. What can I say? It was okay. Not bad. Not bad, Andrew Guida. Not bad. All right, let's move on. Let's see. What else do we like here? All right. So I threw on that one. Then there's been a weird, huge move on the total in the, I don't know if you noticed this, but the Montana State Central Michigan game. It opened at 148.5. Got bet. I thought the under was a good play at that line. It got bet down to 146. Now it got shot up to 157.5 or 158. So that's a 10-point line move.
Jesus.
So obviously someone knows something there about something. That's not an accident. You know what I'm saying? You don't see a 10-point line move on a total in Montana State against Central Michigan unless someone knows something about something. You know what I'm saying, Jim?
Jesus, that's a huge line move.
Yeah. That someone knows something about something there. And earlier in the morning today, someone I remember said that they think that Montana State is a great bet. That has moved modestly in their favor. They're now a 2 or 1.5 point underdog. That line, that game I'm staying off of, but it's definitely worth noting. The Ball State Notre Dame game is also very interesting. I was thinking about a shot with the over or the first half over on that one as well. That line has gotten bet a little bit down, but I was thinking about the first half over. Ball State can be high scoring, and Notre Dame might run it up a little bit here. What do you think about that? I don't know if you have any opinion on that.
I think that Notre Dame is upset over how their last game turned out. And I was looking at this game very closely, and I was like, well, it's just such a big, if I was going to take anything there, I would take them on the first half to come out and shit all over them out of anger, and not necessarily for the full game. Right.
I did bet the over, and I will take this one, the first half over. I will take this one again. This is a little bit of a stretch, but I'll take it. It's headed down a little bit at some places. BetOnline has 72 minus 102, so I'm going to take the Notre Dame first half over 72 minus 102. I will take that one. Again, that's a borderline pick, but I'll give it. Then we haven't talked about the Texas VCU game. That's an interesting one. I did bet VCU at +7. It's now down to 6.5 market wide. I also took a small shot with the under at 146.5, which is right where it is right now. Obviously, Texas is a great team. Shaka Smart is awesome, but I'm not sure Texas should be laying 7 points here. Now it's only 6.5 to VCU. What do you think, Jim?
I think the VCU is a good spot for you. It was tough to break down all these games, so I didn't get to put enough time on it. But the big man on campus is coming in on that giant line change. Says CMU has changed more than any other team in the country. Says they're totally different, way better on defense, and moves like that happen early in the season.
Yeah, they do, but yes, they happen early in the season. Yes, but they tend to happen when the line first gets released, and then it's just way off. This one was weird because it actually took a move to the under and then a huge move to the over. So that is a weird. The Texas VCU game sounds like the kind of game that Big Man might have some good insights into. Big Man, what do you think about Texas VCU? I bet him at 7. It's now 6.5. I took a shot with the under 146.5, which is still where it is. I'm definitely going to be looking at second halves in this one for sure, and I was thinking maybe about the first half under as well. Big Man, if you could give any insight, shed any light on Texas against VCU, that would be awesome, or not if you got.
What do you think of the giant line move in the Vermont Marquette game?
Let me see.
-8 down to -3.5.
Yeah, I did not. I mean, Vermont is obviously a team that can hang with it. I mean, Marquette went to overtime against Eastern Illinois, right? So clearly they're not a team that is a good bet as a favorite, even against crappy teams. So I'm assuming that is a wait. Let me see, Vermont and Marquette. Hold on, let me pull this one. Wait, it was 8. Where was it 8?
It was 8 morning line.
Who said that?
I did.
Let me see this. Wait, let me see. Am I on the full first half? Are you sure about that?
I'm not on the first half. I'm on the full game.
No, that's what I mean.
Yeah,
8.
it says here.
Vermont Marquette.
Marquette was -8 on the opener.
They were? Okay. I'm looking at the line history here. I'm seeing it was 3. SBR odds is showing Marquette was -3 at 7 o'clock Eastern time last night.
Well, then there's a mistake on this thing because it says -8 on the opener here.
No. There. I was like, really? No. Okay. So, I mean, but I mean, why is Marquette such a small favorite at home against Vermont anyway? And the answer is because they're not a trustworthy team, even against crappy teams, as a favorite. That line, I did look at that game. Don't have a particular opinion on it. Did Big Man by any chance?
Yeah, he did. First off, Brian Bosch said Texas is better and will beat VCU on the boards. Big Man on campus says, no way I'm backing Texas on the road in VCU. First true road game with the Frost shooting 62% from the line, laying 7-3. Free throws are going to be big.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Brian Bosch says Texas is better and will beat VCU on the boards. Yes, but the question is, will they beat VCU on the scoreboard by more than 7? I don't know. That's a dicey proposition right there, you know?
Dicey proposition, no question.
Yeah. Hako Schofield says, I like Texas, Pete. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, wow. Okay, here we go. Eric Sniffen says, not trying to freak you guys out, LOL, but Loshak, you got to trust your picks, man. All in caps. Been watching your guys' shows for a while now, and every time I tail your leans, you've been hitting. Well, thank you very much, Eric Sniffen. Yeah, I mean, anytime I give a lean, almost all the time, that is a bet that I made. It's just, as you know, Jimmy the Bag, the picks that you give publicly, you care way more. It's way like if you anytime you give a public pick, you feel like you're friggin' all in. It's like it's unavoidable. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just what happens is these guys start off as just names we see on the screen, and then we start working with them every day. We start caring about them. We become emotionally attached to them, and then we want them to succeed.
Yes, everything, all reasons for it. So yeah, I'm just more risk averse when it comes to, and that's not, especially when it comes to like big underdogs. You know what I mean? Because if you've got a bet that's a big underdog and you have an edge, you know it's more likely than not to lose anyway. But you're betting it because you know that you have an edge, and like your puck lines. You know what I mean? The difference with your puck lines is that you're enough of them so you can give like 4 a day, and after 3 or 4 days it becomes obvious whether you're doing the right thing or not. But like, you know, a one-off big money line is just tough to give publicly because even if there's an edge, you know it's probably going to lose.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So okay. So let's get to JD Williams says, shit, how did I miss the opening? Fuck me in the goat ass. Okay, very nice, JD Williams. All right, let's move on. All right, the Texas VCU game is definitely tempting. I'm definitely liking the first half under and the full game under. Let me see what that first half under is. Yeah, it'd be 69 or 69.5. Bookmaker has 69 minus 105. 5 Dimes has 69.5. I will take the VCU first half under 69 minus 105. 69 minus 105 at Bookmaker right now. Pinnacle has 69.5 minus 118. Maybe I should take that one, but I'll just take the 69 minus 105. And I'm also kind of leaning the full game under as well. I might throw that one on there in the second round. Is there anything else you want to add here, Jim?
At this point, those are all the college picks I'm going to make. Big Man has come in on the Vermont Vermont Marquette situation. He says the line screams Vermont. Vermont is a very good mid-major, top 5 for me mid-major wise.
Yeah, absolutely. And they're certainly better than Eastern Illinois. That's for damn sure. I had, a lot. Look, a lot of my leans are very, very sharp, Jimmy the Bag, but I had Marquette in that game, right? Whew, that was a bad pick.
Hey,
wow, that was a bad pick. Wow, was that a bad pick? All right, let's see. Let's get to some. Wow, yeah. Gambling God says Texas is 1-14 straight up in its last 15 games on the road. Native Queen says VCU first half. It's just it just feels like a few too many points, and I'm leaning on the under on that one, and I might throw on some others very soon. All right, let me just go over the 7 o'clock games to make sure there's nothing I'm missing here. Virginia VMI Davidson, I'm not touching that one. Ball State Notre Dame, I did give the first half over on that one. Let's see, Chattanooga Marshall, definitely interesting. Slightly into Chattanooga getting 8 points. I'm not sure they should be that big of a dog there. The TCU game, man, I want to give those unders. Wake Forest Charlotte, that's interesting. Yeah. Definitely leaning. Wake Forest is a team that I think Danny Manning's a really good coach because he's good at making the most of what he's got. But I'm not sure Wake Forest has a lot this year, and I know they've gotten some nice ATS wins recently, but I'm definitely leaning Charlotte here, getting those points. What do you think, Jim?
I was afraid to do it. I've already hit twice this year on Wake Forest and was had to stop myself when I broke down this game to not take them there.
You wanted Wake Forest here?
Well, no, just because I'm 2 for 2 with them this year, basically. So when I broke down the game, I didn't feel like there was an edge, especially at the line.
No, I mean, I do think that they're a well-coached team, which is the kind of team that you want to be betting on in general, right? I mean, I'm not saying Manning is Popovich here, but I do think that it's not a mistake that they were failing so badly in the beginning of the year, and now recently they've started to get some real margin covers. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's not a mistake, and I know that he changed up their strategy to fit with their strengths more. You know what I mean? Like their strengths are their weakness is rebounding, right? So he changed up their offensive scheme to make their shots higher percentage so that they have to get fewer rebounds, right? Which is going to work against teams like Richmond, is not going to work again. So I'm looking at Wake Forest as the kind of team that might have some nice results against mid-range teams, but when they go up against better teams, they're going to get blown the fuck out. And I'd be looking to fade Wake Forest as a big underdog against teams that just outmatch them, because there's nothing Danny Manning's going to be able to do to coach their way around that. You know?
There's the differing of opinions here. Andrew says Wake Forest over Charlotte. JP Fahey says Charlotte is dismal. John Young says Wake Forest -7.5. And then my man Dave Wayne came in and just said, I just want to say, Pete making some great picks. You should change the name of the show to The Money Show.
Very nice, The Money Show. But that's very presumptuous, because then you change it to The Money Show, you have a couple losing days, bam, you're gone. With the Loshak and the Bag Show, you have a couple losing days, you make a couple of jokes, and you keep it going, right?
Yeah, and we keep Guida at bay.
Right, yeah. All right, so let me just, we got to move on, but let me just quickly, Georgia Winthrop, nothing, Evansville, no. And all right, so all right, and then the Colorado State Arkansas game. You know what? I'm going to throw on I like the over on that one, and I'm going to throw on the first half over on that one as well. It is there's no 72s, so I'll take the Arkansas first half over 72.5, and that's going to be minus 108 at Pinnacle. Over 72.5, minus 108. First half over in the Arkansas Colorado State game, and I will try to get some more. If I see anything that I'm liking from the 9 o'clock games on, I will tweet them out. As of right now, let's review the picks and then let's move on. Jim has given the West Virginia game under 134.5, minus 110, and I'm on that one. He gave Nevada +6 and Texas A&M -1, minus 109. And I gave a whole bunch of plays here. VCU first half under 69, minus 105. Arkansas first half over 72.5. Notre Dame first half over 72, minus 102. Memphis first half -5. Arkansas first half -9.5, minus 115. Rutgers first half +8.5, minus 110. And along with Jim, the West Virginia under 134.5, minus 110. All right, we will review this in the segment 2 section of the show here for college basketball. But let's move on to NBA. Jimmy the Bag, some interesting stuff here, because Let's see. You did take Utah, right? A lot of people thinking that Utah +7 is easy money, low-hanging fruit, a no-brainer, et cetera, et cetera. We know why. Not saying that it's not, but there's been a pretty significant market move in favor of OKC. It's now up to 8 market wide, although the Greek still has 7.5 -115. That's a concerning and interesting and weird line move, right?
Yeah. Let's see if I can get a quick answer to that too. Oh wow. That's awesome. Henrik Lundqvist won't play tonight. That is going to help my Pens. -1.5, a great deal.
And I guess
Let's get fucking paid, man.
And I guess that would explain the big move in favor of Pittsburgh as well. We'll do that, and we'll cover that in a second. No, that's okay. That's okay. Jim, you also took the under 203.5 Washington-Portland. That one has taken a nice little move in your favor. It's now down to 202.5 or 202 at the Greek and the Heritage. So that's a nice indication of being on the right side there. Maybe I'll tail that one. The OKC game, though, has moved.
Okay, it's funny because Rudy Gobert is playing tonight. I thought maybe that was the issue. We knew that Rodney Hood wasn't going to play, but I guess there was a sneaking suspicion that he might play because now he's ruled out. But I can't explain the line change other than people thinking that the Thunder are going to take care of business at home. They're 8-3 at home, and that's the only place they've looked good all year. So I guess, that's the only thing I can think of. They're 24th in the league, scoring 102.1 points per game. Do you have any? Not in any world would I look at this roster and think they'd have such trouble scoring.
Yeah. OKC has been a team that has just been dysfunctional for a while now, and betting against them on any given day or on all given days, probably a good idea. This is one of the situations where it's like I talked about this before. Like if you just decided I'm going to bet against OKC in all spots, from this date until that date, you probably come out, ahead. But in each individual spot, it can be a little bit dicey because you can easily talk yourself out of something or overthink yourself. But listen, we've seen these line moves not be sharp. My sense is this one, I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I don't know, man. This might be a little bit sharp. This might be a little bit tricky. I'm not touching that freaking game, but I hope you cash it. I'm just saying it's a weird line move. You know what I'm saying?
It's a weird line move, but to take my thoughts off of that line move that does concern me, we may have a comment of the day here from our man Philip Age. He says it's crazy because I watch more SBR than ESPN. My wife is like, who are these white dudes you always watch? I told her these white dudes stuffed our stockings this year. Much love, Philip. Much love, man.
His wife was looking at her like, what the fuck is wrong with Philip Agee now? What the fuck? He's all of a sudden watching white dudes on YouTube? What the fuck is going on in this crazy backed up, mixed up, upside down world? Yeah. But as far as why you would watch more SBR than ESPN, obviously that I understand. Right?
To make cash here.
Come on. But yeah. Anyway, comment of the friggin' motherfucking day from Philip Agee. That's Definitely. For sure. And that is awesome. I'm going to save this page again because I want to put that one. I'm going to take all these comments and I'm going to make a little poster of them and I'm going to put it on my wall. And people are going to say like, "What's that?" And I'll be like, those are comments from our live show. And then be like, you put it on your wall? And be like, yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And
whatever puts a smile on your face, man.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a battle we're doing every day here. And these guys make it so much more enjoyable.
You're going to say, do you? Okay. All right, so shall we move on?
Yes, we should move on. There's been a lot of people questioning and talking and asking and sniffing, asking about the Raptors game. You are on the Raptors game.
Yeah.
Was it the first half?
I gave it in the first half in the morning. It was 7.5. It's now up to 8.5 or 9, which again means something, but not everything, or means a bit. And then I also took the first half over at 108.5, which is now still 108.5, or Intertops and Bet Online have 108. So that. We've seen this before. There was one game where it was Houston, similar situation. Remember that? Houston, obviously an overtrending team. The first half was significantly less than 50% of the full game total, and I was like, I don't know what's up with this, and I went with it anyway, and it cashed by 10 points. So I feel like this is the same kind of situation.
And I jumped on it that day. It didn't make any sense.
Yeah, it doesn't, and this one doesn't either. Someone's been betting the first half total down, and good for them. I'm on it, and I got 108.5. 108 is available right now.
If you consider the Raptors are averaging 113.3 points per game over the last 9 games. They've gone over 100 points on each and every one of those games, and they're going up against a team that's 30th in the league, allowing 115.2 points. It just seems like that number is pretty easy to reach.
All right, so we do want to get to now. I don't know how much time we're going to have for all this, but let's go to NHL. Let's move to it. NHL, a whole bunch of picks that Jim and I have given, and a whole bunch of line moves to go with it. First of all, a massive line move in your favor on Pittsburgh, of course. I took the New Jersey +1 when they were at +170. Now it's gotten bet even up further. It's now up to +177 at the Pinnacle, 180 at 5 dimes.
Wow.
I don't know. Am I on the wrong side here? What's up with this, Jim?
I think there's so much value with that number that you're getting. Now, I have yet to make the move with you. And, it just seems, I've got a few minutes to make that decision, but
yeah.
I see it as being a very nice spot for you. The Jets, too. The Jets had moved in my favor as well. I got them at +224.
Yeah, that's
on
moved
the
up.
morning show.
That's moved up for sure. And also after our show, I was thinking about what about maybe a shot with the Winnipeg team total over, which is a little bit high, 2.5 -147. But seems like probably I'd be shocked if they get held down to 3 goals or less.
I would be shocked.
I mean, 2 goals or less.
I would be shocked as well. That seems like a really nice spot. I would be shocked as well. The one time I did that was in an Oilers game when I said they'd go under 3.5 at this ridiculous -140, -115, and I got screwed by it. But that makes a lot of sense. The Wings are allowing a lot of goals right now, and yeah, I think that's a good spot.
Yeah. All right. Let me just look at some because I was actually going to give all of my leans. First of all, in the morning show, Jim. Well, look what happened. I gave the under in the Buffalo Colorado game. Look what happened to that line, Jim. When I gave it, I got it at -118. It's now down to -139 at Pinnacle.
Wow.
Same thing with the first period line. I gave it at I forgot where I gave it, but I'm assuming that one has crashed as well. It's now down to 118. Oh, only about a 5-cent move on the first period line, but the full game under has crashed in the Buffalo Colorado game. I'm happy that I got -118, and hopefully it'll win and I won't get burned on it. But I was thinking about a bunch of other plays. Did you see what happened with the Anaheim Vegas total? I told you I was leaning towards the over, and you expressed the understandable opinion, like where the goal is going to come from Anaheim. But it hasn't. Okay. It went up to 6 briefly at Heritage, and now it's right about where it was at -116. What do you think about an over with Vegas Anaheim, Jim?
Vegas scores. They're 4th in the league in scoring. I just don't know how. You know what? To be honest with you, one side that would work in your favor is that Anaheim does have a good power play. They do have good defensemen. Cam Fowler quarterbacks that joint, and you're going against a team, Vegas, who has bad penalty killing.
Yeah.
So that could work in your favor, and if you're getting a nice number, I can see why you'd want to move in that direction.
Not getting the greatest number, but I will throw that one on as an official pick. Vegas Anaheim over 5.5 -116 right now, and that is the line at Pinnacle. I would also be leading to the first period over on that one in general. And how about this, Jim? I was thinking about the Winnipeg Detroit over.
I think that is a good spot. I mean, You'd almost want to double Winnipeg alone and the over on Winnipeg Detroit. I mean, I'm taking Winnipeg on the puck line, so I'm expecting there to be goals.
Right. It is a double up if you take definitely a double up if you take the team total over, and I would be leaning over on that one as well. And you know what? I don't know. Should I do that? Should I give the over 5.5 at +100 at Bookmaker?
Yes, I think that's a good spot.
I'm doing it, but you're not going to do it.
No, you know what? If I was going to add anything, and you know me in hockey, I like to have situations where I can go 500 and succeed,
yes.
And that's been working for me. I've been slowly getting back, and hopefully tomorrow I'll be in the black. If there was one move I would jump on, it would be Jersey, just because we're getting that huge spot, and it's just. The
line move against me, though, doesn't. I did make that one as official pick in the morning show at +1. Line move against me is not encouraging, Jim.
That is a problem, but I mean, that's the only problem because I see that number and it looks so juicy.
Yeah. All right. I am going to add the Winnipeg Detroit over 5.5 at +100. That is the line right now at Bookmaker. I was decided that I was going to add a bunch of my leans from this one. What do you think about the over 6 in Islanders Tampa Bay? It's all the way up to 6.5 at Heritage. What do you think about over 6?
And Sniffin's talking about it too. How do you guys like the Lightning? situation today, and someone else was saying, do you think the Islanders continue going over? They've been money for me lately. These are the two most offensive teams in the league. And the only reason why I didn't jump on it right away is because it's a revenge situation for Tampa. They remember Islanders came in on the second half of a back-to-back and beat them 5-3. And that set off a losing streak for the Lightning. So I imagine that they're going to tighten up, but I like it.
All right, that was a lean, and I will turn that into an official pick. Over 6 minus 115 in Islanders Tampa Bay. What were some of the other leans that I had here? I was thinking about. Let me just look at these. I guess like the Minnesota LA. I did give the first period under on that one as an official pick, and I was thinking about throwing the full game on it as well. That feels like it's gonna go over. The St. Louis Montreal game. That definitely feels like it's got under written all over it. But that makes you nervous or what?
No, I mean, the way Price is playing, allowed 6 goals in his last 5 games, it clearly looks like that's the spot. And even though the Canadians have been scoring, I still don't see them as a very good offensive team, especially Jonathan Drouin is still out of the lineup with a lower body injury. If you're expecting guys like Paul Byron to score 30 or 40, 30 goals in a season, it's just not going to happen. But they're playing great right now.
Yeah. You know what else I'm doing? I'm doubling up, Jim, on this Tampa Bay game. I'm also going to take the first period over 1.5 minus 126 at Pinnacle. So I'm on the full game over 6 minus 115 and the first period over minus 126. Adding a bunch of plays here onto my official record in NHL. Let me just see what my other leans were, and then we'll move on to a little bit more college basketball. Yeah, Winnipeg team total over was definitely a lean there. The Winnipeg-Detroit first period over was also a lean at 1.5. I could see that one happening. Anaheim-Vegas first period over. I could see that one happening, but I guess I'll just stick with the full game. And so I converted a bunch of leans here to official picks. And the only other play that I'm thinking about is maybe doubling up. I mean, you think that would be a little bit too nuts if I doubled up on the Anaheim Vegas over? If I took the first period and the full game, would that be going a little bit too crazy, Jim?
Once I realized how bad the Golden Knights are on their penalty kill and how it's still a bright spot for the Ducks, their power play. I wish I kind of had figured that out earlier today. Do we know? Let me just see if if either Raquel and Silverberg are going to be back. If you just give me 2 seconds.
That's okay. Go ahead. Yeah. So I'm just looking at these. Lines here. Yeah, some interesting shit. All right, so while Jim looks at that, let me review the NHL picks that I have added here. Onto my NHL official slate tonight, I've added the Tampa Bay over 6 minus 115, the first period over minus 126, the Vegas game over 5.5 minus 116, and the Detroit game over 5.5 plus 100. Yeah, and I'm thinking about adding on, I'm thinking about adding on the Anaheim-Vegas first period over, doubling up on that one. Thinking about adding the Minnesota-LA game under 5.5 on the full game, but I guess I'll probably hold off on that one, although I'm very tempted to do that. And
J.D. Williams says double it, and Raquel very likely could be in the lineup tonight. They just said that he practiced yesterday, and he is all these guys coming back, every time it's just a big pump up in the dressing room, looking across, seeing your top player getting dressed. I think it
is a big pump up, isn't it?
The advantage of the good power play against a bad penalty killing, I feel it.
All right, I'm going to take it. Vegas first period over 1.5 minus 119. That is the current line at Pinnacle. So I'm doubling up on that one. Hopefully I won't get too burned by all these double ups, and if I do, whatever. But I'm going to take it. All right, that's it, Jim. You're not going to.
There's one. Muhammad has joined us in the chat, and he's a big Habs backer. I'd be curious to hear what you think, Muhammad, on the over or the under tonight in the Blues Habs, and if you think Montreal will hold the fort down.
That's got to be an under, right, Jim?
It seems like an under to me.
Yeah.
Sniffin says, how do you like the Kings tonight? Wants you to know they're going for 6 in a row, asking you.
Yeah, I mean, I took the the side I'm not touching at all. I did take the first period under on that one, 1.5 minus 120, and definitely a lean to the full game under, even though it's one of those 5.5s with a big favorite line for the under. But so I'm going to hold off on that one. But that definitely would count as a lean, the under 5.5 in the Minnesota-LA game, which, oh my God, wow. It's now, yeah, actually, it's down to minus 138 at Pinnacle. I couldn't take that. In that one. I'm just on the first period under. All right, so let's move on to college basketball, Jim. How about that?
Let's do it.
Back to college basketball. All right, so now we're going to wrap things up with our final look at maybe some of the line moves that have occurred in college basketball. Let's see what line moves have occurred that we can see here. Nothing on the Gonzaga-Villanova game. That looks like it's going to be sitting right there at 5. Let's see. Any other? Chattanooga.
So Muhammad did come back on that game, and he says he wouldn't touch the over-under in that game. He says, I think Allen is one of the most overrated goalies in the league. Clearly, he's a goalie who's got great defense in front of him. He said, I lean under, but Habs could pop 4 or 5 in this game. And Muhammad says he talked to Brendan last night, his brother-in-law, Brendan Gallagher, and he said they're feeling it.
His brother-in-law is Brendan Gallagher?
Yeah.
Wow. And they said they're feeling it?
I love when you make that face.
Wow, yeah. It was feeling what? Like just like the good vibes, the good hockey
They're
vibes?
feeling good about themselves. My boy Brendan Gallagher, leading scorer in Vancouver Giants team history, easily one of my favorite players in the NHL. 5th round draft pick. The Canucks picked a defenseman out of Harvard who quit playing. We could have had Brendan Gallagher on our fucking team. One of the biggest lapses in judgment by the fucking brain trust. God damn, he should be in a Canucks uniform.
Man, I'm used to people who break down numbers and who like research their shit on the web. I'm not used to having guys who are like intimately connected with the actual people who are involved in this, man.
That's it's his cousin. Sorry, his cousin.
Oh, his cousin.
Yeah, cousin.
Still, whatever. That's fine. All right, Jim. I guess we're not going to change anything from our college basketball plays. I would have a lean to the over in that Troy game. Where is that? Yeah, it has not moved at all. I guess I'm going to hold off on that one and think about me. Well, you know what? I mean, I bet it. All right, fine. I'll take it. UAB Troy over 145. That's another official pick there. Minus 108 at Pinnacle. UAB Troy over 145 minus 108. What the hell? I'll throw that one on there as well.
Sure.
All right. Let's see. Anything else you want to add here in college basketball, Jim?
No, I'm comfortable. I got these 3 plays. I believe in them all, and going to watch very closely.
Yeah. Texas VCU. I do kind of want to take the under on that one, but I took the first half under. I guess I'll just stick with that. Although I could see that one, being like kind of high scoring, like going to 74 in the first half, and then the defense really clamps down in the second half and goes under. We do see that a lot. We saw that in the North Dakota State game yesterday. You remember, Jim? I had the first half over 62.5 cashed easily, and then I took the full game over on 134.5, and the second half was super low scoring, went way under. And that's an example of the holistic approach. I did take the second half under on that one, so I could have gotten a middle, but I didn't. But I wound up hedging out of my full game play. That one is I'm tempted to take the VCU Texas. You know what? I'll take that one also. I'll take the full game under. I'm on the first half under, and I'll take the full game under as well. It is going to be at BetDSI and the Greek 146.5 minus 110. I will take the under 146.5 minus 110 in Texas VCU. I took the full game I took the first half under at 69 minus 105, and I'll throw on the full game under as well at 146.5 minus 110. Again, it's not that I'm in love with the play. I just like it a little bit. It's a lean. I bet it, so I'll throw it on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right. Is that about it?
That's it. I'm going to stick with my picks. I think we're in a good spot, and I need a good spot. I was quite disappointed in yesterday's action. And I'm very close to being in the black in hockey. Mm-hmm. I need that to happen, and I need to have a rebound game. I need to bounce back in the NCAA.
Okay, yeah. I'm also thinking about taking the Colorado State Arkansas full game over, because you remember what happened in the Oklahoma game? I gave the first half only, and they shot like 30%. Both teams shot 30%, and it went under by a point and a half in the first half, and then the second half came and they scored like 100 points. The full game went way over, and that also sometimes happens in college basketball, which is another reason why I take these holistic approaches to this stuff. The Colorado State Arkansas game I gave on the first half could easily see the shooting be off, and it still goes under by just a hair, and then the second half just explodes over, and it easily gets over the full game. And you know what? I talked myself into it. I'll take that one as well. Colorado State Arkansas full game over, and that is 153 minus 112 right now at Pinnacle. So I'm taking that one as well. So I'm on the first half and the full game over. Actually, at UWager, it's minus 110. So over 153 minus 110 at UWager. We do use that one.
Let's get paid, man. Let's get fucking paid.
Should I review all my college basketball picks?
Yes, definitely. I'd like to hear them as well.
So let's actually what we're going to do, we're going to review all the picks, and then we're going to give a huge thanks to all the viewers and the commenters, and then we will wrap this shit up. Jim has added nothing except for 3 college basketball plays: West Virginia under 134.5, Nevada +6, and Texas A&M -1, minus 109. And I have, oh my God, I don't even know where to start. All right, in NHL, I added a ton. The Vegas game over 5.5, and the first period over at minus 119. I added the Tampa Bay first period over and the full game over 6 minus 115, and I added the Winnipeg Detroit game over 5.5 plus 100. That's it. And then in college basketball, all the picks I gave: VCU first half under 69 and the full game under 146.5. The Arkansas game first half over 72.5 and the full game over at 153. The Notre game first half over at 72. The Troy game over 145 on the full game minus 108. The West Virginia game along with Jim under 134.5 minus 110, and I gave Memphis first half minus 5, Arkansas first half minus 9.5 minus 115, and Rutgers first half plus 8.5 minus 110. And I guess that's it for college basketball that I've given officially here.
Yeah, and they're wondering, my best play, the game I am most confident in right now, if we want to keep doing the best picks, the game I'm most confident right now in is the Pittsburgh Penguins with that goalie change, having Pavlich in goal. The Pens are playing great hockey, and I think this backup, I think they finally found a backup. This kid's got some confidence, 937 save percentage right now, and I like it. So that's my spot. And I also just want to say before we shut off that in 1 hour I'll be doing the wrap-up show live, so I hope some of you guys can join me. Okay,
Delta 7575 wraps it up by saying VCU under, I go the other way. So he's liking the over on that one. Yeah, it's not a huge total, and easily fouling at the end could put this one over. But it's Shaka Smart going up against VCU again, and I think there's going to be some tense defense here, at least in the first half, and hopefully I won't get burned on that one. But there you go. That's about it. And let's wrap the shit up. Thanks so much to all the great comments. We don't even have time to read them all because that's what happens when you have a massive college basketball game like this. But we really appreciate all the positive comments and, of course, all the very insightful handicapping comments that you guys give us. Very, very crucial to our general thought process on the whole card. And we'll be back tomorrow at 12 o'clock Eastern Time, 9 o'clock Pacific for the Wednesday card.